Hello, welcome back to my glorious channel with me and my monotone voice. Welcome back. I've been trying to release this video for a few weeks now, but I am a writer, I am busy, and it's hard, and I want to release more stuff more often. But the reality is I do work a lot and I get tired, actually. I get burnt out from working and also writing on the side. And anyway, this video is meant to be me organizing the shelves behind me. They're already organized right now, but I did manage to film time lapses of me organizing all the books on my shelves, not just these ones, but in other rooms of the house as well. And if you watched my last video, you would know that I moved out recently into a new house and I hadn't yet put all of the books on my shelves yet. That was a long process. I'm a bit of a book nut. I work in a book shop. I like to organize my books in particular ways or I get really cranky. And so it was a long process and it was a painful, exhausting process putting all these books on all of these shelves because I have 2,000 books in my collection, which I think would be considered a library. I think, right? Is that a library? Maybe. Not the point. The point is, putting all of these books on these bookshelves was a very arduous process, but I filmed it all, and whether or not you want to watch it, I'm about to play it. If you do want to watch me put together all of my bookshelves, if you think that would be entertaining, then, well, you've got a fun video ahead of you. Enjoy the video. Yeah. Right now, it's been like a week since we moved out into this new place. A bit longer than a week, actually. It's like 8-9 days or something. And we haven't had a chance to put away any of my books yet. We've been setting up the living room and the kitchen, and the bedrooms and the dining room, and even our shed. We've been making progress on the garage because it will eventually be the back shed press. So I thought I would film me putting away some books. I love putting away books and organizing books. It's something that I take a lot of pride in, a lot of joy in. My housemates and I have agreed to put my fantasy books in the living room. We just thought it made sense. So I'm going to do that on the shelves behind me here. So these are all of my sci-fi and fantasy books. I don't actually have as many as I thought I did. I did do a cull a couple of months ago. I do need some more though, because I'm not really happy with my collection. A lot of it is incomplete, especially my Lord of the Rings collection. Even though there are so many of them here, I don't actually have a lot of complete sets of editions, and I want to collect the hardcovers and special exclusive editions and all of that stuff, but I don't actually have many complete sets for the hardcovers. Anyone who knows me knows I am a huge Tolkien nerd. I love my Lord of the Rings, I love the world of Middle-earth, and so I think I should probably work on that collection a little bit. Of course, there are my Song of Ice and Fire books over there in the back as well. My thinking is to put the Lord of the Rings books here on top of this bookshelf, which is, it's a makeshift bookshelf. It has been made by a friend of ours. And so I think at the top I'll put my Lord of the Rings ones because, you know, it's Lord of the Rings, they are my absolute favorites. And then I think I'll put my other favorite sort of series in these top cubes, and then just the rest of them just down at the bottom there. So that's my thinking, which I don't know why I thought I should explain it to you, but I wanted to explain it to you. And now I'm going to put all of these over here, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, so wish me luck. So I think I have finished setting up the top shelf of the bookshelf, which is my Lord of the Rings books. And these ones here are actually my housemate Camille's books. I wanted to have all of my, Guide to Middle-earth, Lord of the Rings, Tolkien books on this end here to make a stack that holds the other books together, right next to my girlfriend's Haunted House Lego set. Then I've got my my Hobbit collection. I've got a few different editions and versions of that. This is the one that I actually remember reading when I was about 12, 13 years old. It's falling apart, so I should probably put that back in there. Come on. Get in there. Get in there. Alright, good book. Okay, and then I've got this, just small paperback edition of the trilogy. I suppose it's not really a trilogy, it is just one book. I have these Rings of Power editions here. They're not my favorites. They're kind of cool. I am a little bit of a Rings of Power fan. I'm sorry to the people that despise the show. I don't care. I enjoy it. The 3-in-1 here. These are my hardcover editions that I received when I was about 14 years old. I believe they're 11th impressions, which is they're from the 60s. They're quite old. They're not in the best condition, I'll be honest. But I'm, really proud of them. I don't read these editions, I just like to sort of have them. Then I've got my Silmarillions, and this one is quite weather-beaten and old. It's a 1979 edition by the looks of it. And I've got my other Tolkien books here. Haven't completed that collection just yet, but those are all the ones that I have so far on the top shelf, and it looks pretty cool. So yeah, but I should probably keep going with the rest of the books because there are so many more. So these are some of my favorite series: Song of Ice and Fire, we've got the Philip Pullman books, Aragon series, of course, and then a whole bunch of other fantasy books. I used to read a lot of fantasy as a teenager, but I just don't anymore, and I think I will come back to it again at some point, just not right now. I also have all of these other fantasy-style books about The Hobbit, about Lord of the Rings, about Game of Thrones. I don't know where to put these. I don't really want to put them on the fantasy shelf at this stage. I do, however, have these shelves here, which are kind of empty. They're behind our couch in the living room, and they are mostly artsy books and other types of things, and I think I might put these here. I very quickly realized this wasn't going to work. They don't actually fit in there, neither laying down nor standing up. I also went ahead and put away some of my music biographies and other music type books here in the living room under this really gorgeous painting. It's so nice. Yeah, so I've got them in the living room. Living room? This is not the living room. What did I call this room? This is the dining room, I guess. I've got these in the dining room, dining room table. I would show it to you, but the house really is a mess at the moment. There are boxes everywhere, and I'd rather not. I'd rather just show them to you when I'm proud of them. Yeah, so I just thought I'd show you those. I didn't obviously film the process of putting them away because I just went for it. Okay, so it is now the 2nd of December, and so that's about 12 days since we moved into this place. And I still haven't put away all of my books. Just have not had the time. There's been other priorities in the house to sort out, and so I've just been doing those. But today I am going to tackle some more of the books, and I think I will start with the non-fiction section. Quite a few non-fiction books in this house, and we're keeping them in our living room, which is this space that you can see behind me. It's a hot day. It's the beginning of summer. I have my cold iced coffee. And that's going to get me through putting these books on these shelves. And these are all of the books that I need to fit up there on that shelf. All those books. They're not all mine. Some of them, including these Bill Brysons, they belong to my housemate, but they're all going on the same shelf. So I am going to tackle that now.
Cure timelapse.
So I can't stop this from falling because the shelves are actually now full. Mostly, I've got a little gap up there. I'm not sure what to do about that just yet. Maybe I need to buy more books. I don't think anyone thinks that's a good idea. This stack keeps falling. Need to hold it up somehow. Don't know how I'm gonna do this. Oh, this is really pissing me off now. I have this jar of marbles. I don't know what to do with it. My brother gave it to me many, many years ago. And it's just been sitting around. I'm just gonna pop it on the end because it's nice and heavy and that holds it all in. We finally have another bookshelf finished. Mostly finished. I'm gonna move back a little bit. There we go. So that is the finished bookshelf there right beside the door. And I think it looks nice. Large trade books at the top with hardcovers as well. Any sort of slightly mid-length books that aren't quite B format sized, I pop those just there, as well as my sort of smaller hardcovers. I've got those just there as well. And then down here, I've tried to put as many of my B formats as I can. Got a hardcover at the end. I don't know what to do about that just yet. This is sort of my random sized shelf. These ones in particular are a little small, some hardcovers, some paperbacks, smaller sized. And then down at the bottom, we have Camille, my housemate's books there. So I think that's worked out pretty well. But now I have to put more books away, so save me, help me. Oh yeah, more boxes, and me. Hello, it's me. Hello! There has been a time skip. I've been in this house for like 3 weeks now. We are in my studio, I guess, my office, my library, but there are some problems with this room. And the first problem is that I have some very empty shelves at the moment because I am a little afraid to tackle opening all of these boxes. All these boxes. So many boxes. Way too many of them. I am just afraid to tackle them because I don't know how I'm going to organize these shelves. I have not yet decided which books are going in this room. I don't know. I will work it out at some point, but I am working 5 to 6 days a week at the moment at a bookshop, and it is very taxing on my mind and my body, and I don't really have the energy to deal with this, but I would like to deal with it before Christmas, so I do need to get this all sorted and stop losing my mind, basically. But yes, we have bookshelves, 3 bookshelves. They are kind of falling apart, actually. This one here, the shelf just does not go on it at this bottom part of this bookshelf. The shelf does not fit onto it because I guess it started to bow. I do need to replace these bookshelves at some point, but for now, they will do because they do... Whoop, I nearly fell over a fucking box. They do fit very kind of snugly into that corner. There's a little bit of a gap, kind of annoying. Now, I think I mentioned that there were a few problems with this room. Another problem is that I do not have a desk. I have moved my usual office space writing desk thing into the garage, into the shed, because that is where the home base of my publishing press, Backshed Press, will operate. And I'm planning to do a lot of my work outside, but I don't have a desk in here, and that's a problem. So I need to find a desk. But yeah, all of these books, all these boxes of books, all the books that are already on there, and a bunch of other books that I have in another room as well. I'm losing my mind, guys. I am afraid to tackle these books. I have no desk in here. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, yeah. There we go. There we go. There's the full state of my book addiction revealed to you. All of these goddamn piles. Piles, I say, piles. There are more here. There are some more there. And not to mention the several hundred that I've already put away in other rooms. Alright, so we're back here again in the studio. There have been a few changes to the place, although not that many. I did unbox all the books, so that's probably the hard part done, I think. Actually, maybe the hard part's going to be alphabetizing them. Or deciding where to put them. Okay, so the hard part is actually before me. I'm about to do the hard part. I'm putting the books on the shelves, and I don't know if I'm ready for this. I've done these labels on some of the shelves just to help me as like a guide. I'm gonna put my banned books there. For anyone who doesn't know, I collect banned books. I make a video about it every year. This is kind of where I'm gonna keep them because that's a broken shelf and it's just enough space to stack them all. Gonna have fiction there. I'm gonna have my trade format books along the top because they're just kind of tall, and I made sure that top shelf was slightly taller than all the others. Classics, they're all gonna go here. At the bottom here, we'll have my children's, junior, young adult fiction, various books from when I was younger. So I'm just gonna keep those at the bottom there because I don't really read them anymore. I'm just gonna do it as a time lapse because it's really hot in here. I want my fan running, and you're not gonna be able to hear anything with the fan on. It's gonna be still really hot and sweaty, but I'm aiming to get this done in 1 hour.
15 minutes later.
There's so many books. Why did I have to buy so many books? It's fine. You know what? We're just going to tackle this. We're just going to do it. So I started filming this video almost a month ago. So you're welcome. I think after this, I might just have to end the video once the shelves are done. There are other things I want to show you, but I might have to save them for another video. All right, we're just going to do it. Oh my fucking god. Okay, so I've started putting some of the books away. I've done my banned books. They are sort of randomly on there at the moment, just like by size, I guess. Done my junior books, my young adult, my children's books, all of those. They're alphabetized. They actually fit perfectly on that shelf. That's a sign that I should not buy any of those anymore. I'm just happy with that shelf. I'm gonna move on. I'm going to do all of these ones now. So I was really hopeful that I would get all of the bookshelves done tonight, but it's getting kind of late. I have tackled the large majority of it, which is good. I've done my fiction, my trade fiction up at the top there. I've started on my classics. They're not quite there yet, but there's still all of these piles to deal with. And I don't want to deal with them tonight. I kind of just want to have a bath, read a book, and go to sleep. So it looks like I'm going to have to see you again maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple of days, who knows. But I'm determined to get this done at some point. So I will be seeing you again very soon, hopefully. Okay, so we're back here again, in the room with all the books. Christmas has passed, and New Year's has passed. It's 2025, and these bookshelves still have not been done. Look at those empty gaps, empty. My family got me a bunch of food hamper things for Christmas. You can see my shadow in there being all explaining things. We Italians, we use our hands a lot when we talk, so I'm just gonna own it. Got some more spaces here, blank spaces. So I'm gonna sort those out today. I guess I should get the time lapse happening. we're doing Australian fiction and classics, and then after that, all my books in the house will have been put away, and I can end these moving vlogs and move on with my life, and so can you. Let's do this. Time-lapse time. Time-lapse time. The studio wasn't complete until I put up all of the artwork on my walls. I like to call this the travelling wall, or my collage wall. It is ever expanding and new things are always finding their way onto my wall. Having artwork on the wall always inspires me, and it creates an environment that I feel creative in. These are some of the stacks that I have in the hallway, which are my TBR stacks. So these are books that I haven't read that I would really like to read. In the living room, I finally finished off my poetry shelf, which has philosophy and politics and sociology books on it. It has poetry reference books, poetry anthologies, general poetry books from A to Z by poet, and there's even some plays there as well. I don't read too many plays, but I do have some, and I do enjoy reading them occasionally. And now, at long last, all the books have been put away, and this house feels like mine. As you can see, I now have a desk and a chair. It's looking pretty good in here. My typewriter's all set up, ready to go. My laptop's on my desk so I can get some work done. The bookshelves are looking fantastic. I have my zine materials and all of my zines that are available for people to purchase on my online store. I'm a totally self-funded artist, but the struggle is real, so I could really use your support. These are some of the new zines that I've been making with my writing collective. Some of the books that I've published. And then there's me, just f***ing around in the new studio because it's pretty f***ing awesome. And I'm really proud of this space. I can't wait to get creative in here. See you next time.